losing their jobs to prison inmates after their boss first joined us right here on Fox and Friends. But now the same thing could happen to another business responsible for making military T-shirts. Joining us right now from his factory is Chris Reynolds, the president of Campbellsville Apparel Company. He joins us from Kentucky. Good morning, Chris. And your many employees this morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you, and thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Chris, tell me what your factory makes for the federal government and how long you've been doing it.
We've been manufacturing T-shirts, briefs, police garments for the past 10 years for our Defense Logistics Agency.
Okay, and I understand your current contract is going to expire in October, at which time you are worried that FPI, Federal Prisons Industry, may actually wind up getting your contract, right?
Well, our concern is that we know that they are allowed to bid on this contract, and we are very concerned because of their labor wages are so low that we're just afraid that we can't be competitive.
I can completely understand that, and that's the same thing that Michael Manch was telling us last week from Ashland Industries there in Kentucky as well, because Federal Prison Industries pays 23 cents an hour to prisoners to make things. You have a much higher wage, and you've got benefits as well.
That's correct. Our average is close to $12 an hour, and we do pay a certain percentage of the medical, vision, dental, and our employees have such a difficult time just dealing with the idea that a federal prisoner who should be paying a debt to society could possibly take their job. Well, they just can't imagine.
Right. Plus, Chris, the fact that FPI, Federal Prison Industries, pays 23 cents an hour. You're north of $10 an hour. You can't compete with that. And now it sounds like there's a possibility that people serving time for, in some cases, serious crimes could take the jobs of all those men and women behind you. Tell me the reaction on the factory floor there in Kentucky to that.
Well, I think when we first started discussing it, the employees could not believe that could happen here in America. I mean, that a prisoner could actually take their work from them. It's just, can't imagine.
Well, what do you think is going to happen? And what can you do, and what can the people watching do to help you make sure that the prisoners don't wind up with the jobs of all those taxpayers there that picture with you?
Well, right now we're asking for a lot of help from our senators, our congressmen, our representatives. We're asking them to help. We know that there are two key pieces of legislation out there, number 2312 and 3634, that can intervene and limit the amount that the federal prisons can get. But in the meantime, we're hoping that they can intervene so our people will be eligible to have a fair opportunity to get this work.
Sure. And Chris, as I understand, you do have other contracts, smaller things that you make for the government, but if you lost this big T-shirt contract, what's going to happen?
You're correct. We do have a brief contract and some police, and that takes care of about 58 of our employees. The majority of our employees, if we did not get this T-shirt contract, it could affect 115 of these people that you see standing right here with me.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's something. By the way, we should point out we did talk to the Bureau of Prisons and asked them for comment. They told us the case is under review. So with any luck, all of you folks will keep your jobs out there in Kentucky. Chris Reynolds and company, thank you very much for joining us live. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
What do you think about that? Federal prisoners getting paid 23 cents an hour, competing against people in the private industry. Does that seem fair to you? Email us, friends@foxnews.com. Meanwhile, he's saving lives for a living, but